that better? Can everybody see that? Now, it means that you're going to see like the clip here and a little bit of my studio table. If you're able to avoid looking at that, that would be great. But this is what we're going to be drawing today. Oh, and I forgot to add, I did pull a couple chalk pastels. If you have your own set of chalk pastels, you can use that. It's not required, but you could use that if you wanted. So I've pulled those as well. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I have my masking sheet here, and I'm going to write my name on 7-1 because then I know it's from this class. And I know that you're going to be sending me a picture of this, but sometimes I get images from people's email addresses and I'm not really clear who it is, but we should always get in the habit of writing this and your name on it. If you want to put it on the back, you can, but up here in the corner works the best. And now we're going to draw our value scale. Okay. We are going to make a larger value scale today than we have been. Last class we were working with white, gray, and black. But now we are going to do white, light gray, gray, dark gray, and black. Okay. And this is important for you to know. For gray, if you want to label it medium gray, you can, but most of the time that's just gray. It's like your standard 50% gray. Now, y'all see how this is done right here on the chart, correct? I am going to get a larger sheet of paper so you can see me draw it larger. You do not do this part, but I want for y'all to see it large. So I have white, light gray, gray, dark gray, and black. Okay, can y'all see that better? Now this is when y'all were always like, what? Math, I never use math. Or maybe you love math like I do and you're like, you use it all the time. Huh?
Light is like shining on the paper and making it hard to see the marks.
What about that? Better?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll flip this upside down too. So this is where you have your ratios. Okay. So here, you're going to number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And here, you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it looks like this. Can y'all see that ratio? Yeah. I just realized this is, I'm sorry. I have made, I made a mistake. Hold on. I apologize. I am very, very tired today. That's what your ratio should say. 4 to 0, 3 to 1, 2 to 2, 1 to 3, 0 to 4. Is that light better? Ooh, what about this, David? Is that light better?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. You can see. You don't see my screen anymore? Yeah, you popped off of mine too. David, why don't you go out and pop back in like you did the other day? Now, I apologize for getting those ratios wrong. That is completely my fault. What these ratios mean is that this right here is the amount of white that you're going to have, and this is the amount of black that you're going to have. And it might seem like this is a silly thing to do, but this is the best way for you to remember your percentages. Because remember, I showed you the chart last class period, and you could see that it's labeled 100%, 90, 80, 10, and it goes all the way down. I will say that your grades are typically in 10%. You won't see like a 97% gray. It's always done in these 10%. Okay? And that ratio means 0% black, 10% black, 20% black. And that's what that percentage means. So for this, when I'm doing this sheet, I know I'm going to look at it like a layer. Now my chalk pastel has been in my bag, so it's dirty. Don't put hand sanitizer on your chalk, so that's just for your hands. So I'm going to take my tissue or a paper towel or just my hand and clean it off like that. Put that there to the side. And then I have this. So when it says ratios 0 white and 4 black, I'm going to take and I'm going to add layers lightly. You have to apply the same amount of pressure. So here's 1 layer, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And that, notice how easily I got my black, just like that. Right? Then I come to this one. Are there questions about this so far? Does anybody have a question about that? And the way I did that? Because I don't want to go too fast. Yes, Asia.
So I don't have chalk pastel. I only have a pencil.
Okay, so thank you, Asia, for saying that. If all you have is a pencil, it's the exact same thing. Any material that you're using, those pencil, paint, oil pastel, it's the exact same way. So while I did 4 layers with my chalk pastel, you would do 4 layers with your pencil. Some people like to keep the same direction, but I like to alternate. That's called cross hatching because it covers more surface area and it makes it darker.
Wait, were we not supposed to be using our charcoal?
Yes, you are, but David, not everybody has charcoal yet. So some people are using pencil.
I used my charcoal, but it totally ruined my paper.
Okay, so that was the next thing I was going to say. If you do this, it blew stuff all over, didn't it? And it smeared stuff.
Yeah.
That's okay because that's where you take your masking paper right here, and that will kind of cover the area. But also you can erase that chalk pastel or blend it. Don't worry about it on this drawing. Charcoal is very dark and very soft. And so it's going to smear like that. That's completely normal. That's just the nature of it. It's very messy. So then for gray, dark gray, I look at my ratio and I say 3 to 1. So then I come in and I go 1. Remember, you're applying the same amount of pressure. 2, 3. If you apply a different amount of pressure, you're going to get your grays and your value scale to be different. But I've only done 3 black. So then I come in with my white chalk pastel and I do 1 layer of white over top. Wow. I'm gonna break my pastel, my chalk. This chalk is chalk for the chalkboard. So if you feel it kind of has like a slick coating on the outside, which is correct. It's supposed to have that, but sometimes it prevents the chalk from coming through. So I broke it in half, so now I can use that. Yeah, that looks much better. And there's my one. Can you see the difference there? I hope. No, you do not have to do yours this big at all. I'm just doing it this big so you can see it. Mine, whoo, bless you. Mine was only this size. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do my gray. And I look and I see my gray is 2 to 2. So again, remember to keep it light. That charcoal is so dark. So I do 2 layers there. I'm gonna clean this here. And I'm gonna do 2 layers. I was really hoping that would blend better. It's getting better. It's still a little too dark. This stuff is so dark. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, then for light gray, can everybody else hear me okay? Okay, good. Then I'm gonna do my 1 layer. Yes, thank you, John David. Thank you, Presley. Blend. Now remember, you're doing a much smaller area, so can y'all see that? How that's coming through? How that's a gradation? I hope so. And then white has 0 black in it. And so I color in my 4 layers of that. Okay. Here's my hands. I'm looking like an artist. Charcoal days always make me look like an artist. If you are using pencil for this instead of charcoal, you would leave this area blank. If you're using pencil instead of charcoal, you can use your finger or a tissue to smear. And of course, you can always use a finger to smear on the charcoal or a Q-tip if you have it. If you use your blender, let's say you have a stump or a blender, and you use it on charcoal, that's great. But don't use it for any other material after you've used it for charcoal, because it will get it all mixed up. Right, so I'll show this for you to see. Is that good? Now for pencil, remember, it's gonna look the same gradation: white, light gray, gray, dark gray, black. I really wish there was more of a change from here to here, but that's fine. You still get the idea, all right? So are there questions up to this point? Am I good to go on to the next part of our class? Good? Thumbs up. Raise your hand if you're ready for the next part. Okay, I have 1 person